Tartaria did not disappear, it was frozen, and they named the ice after a Roman goddess, so you would never think to look underneath it. In this video, we are going to follow the ice. From the moment Tartaria vanished from every map on Earth, to the precise year Antarctica appeared on those same maps, to the treaty that 50 nations signed to make sure no one could ever go and look without permission. And when you see the real timeline, not the official one, you will understand why the most sophisticated civilization in human history needed to be buried under 2 miles of ice before the new world could be built on top of it. Mainstream historians will never tell you this, because the dates are damning. Stay till the end, because what comes next will change everything. Let us start with a number. That is the year an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis produced a map of the world. Not a rough sketch, not a speculative drawing, a precisely charted map with coastlines, river systems, mountain ranges of a continent that the official record says was not discovered for another 307 years. The continent was Antarctica. And on the Piri Reis map, it has no ice. Hold that for a moment. A continent that today sits under 2 miles of ice, drawn in 1513, ice-free, with geographic features we did not technologically confirm until 1957, seismic surveys and 1990s satellite imaging. Subglacial mountain ridges, river systems, a detailed, accurate coastline that when researchers in the 20th century overlaid it against modern satellite imaging of the terrain beneath the ice, it aligned with a precision that no academic has ever adequately explained. How does a 16th century Ottoman admiral map what is under 2 miles of ice? There is only one answer that survives contact with logic. He was copying from a source that was copied from a source that was copied from a civilization that was actually there. A civilization that walked that continent when it was green. A civilization that mapped it from the ground. And that civilization has a name. Now here is what every other channel covering this topic has missed. They treat Tartaria and Antarctica as 2 separate mysteries. They are not. They are the same mystery, viewed from opposite ends of the same event. Let us run the timeline the way it was never meant to be run. The year without a summer. Every history textbook tells you this was caused by the eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia. A single volcano. The problem is the data. The atmospheric disruption of 1816 was not regional. It was not concentrated near Indonesia. It was simultaneous. It was global. Crop failures from New England to northern China. Snow in June in New York. Orange skies across Europe. Temperatures dropping across the entire northern hemisphere at the same time. A single volcano in Indonesia does not do that. What does do that is a rapid atmospheric blackout on a civilizational scale. The kind of event that leaves behind not just climate data, but erasure. Entire communities losing continuity with what came before. Population displacements with no clear origin point. Historical records going suddenly thin at exactly the moment they should be thickest. This was not a volcanic winter. This was a reset, the terminal moment of the most sophisticated civilization in human history. Tartaria. And now the number that changes everything. 4 years after the sky went dark across the entire planet. 4 years after what may have been the final collapse of Tartarian civilization, Antarctica is officially discovered. Not by one expedition, by 3, simultaneously. A British crew, an American crew, a Russian crew, all operating independently, we are told. All in the same region, all within months of each other, all in 1820. Mainstream historians call this coincidence. I call it coordination. Because here is what you need to understand about how discovery actually works. When Columbus sailed in 1492, he was alone. When Magellan circumnavigated the globe, he was alone. When Cook charted the Pacific, he was alone. Discovery is not a group activity. Nations do not accidentally arrive at the same undiscovered place at the same time without communication, unless they already knew it was there, unless someone told them where to go, unless they were following a map, the same map, the Piri Reis map. Now let us talk about the gap that no one explains. Between 1513 and 1820, 307 years, Antarctica appears on multiple European maps. The Piri Reis map, 1513. The Oronce Fine map, 1531. The Mercator map, 1569. The Boache map, 1754. Every single one shows Antarctica. Every single one shows it without ice. Every single one shows geographic detail that could only come from direct observation. And then, nothing. For generations, silence. No expeditions, no follow-up, no nation sending ships to this mapped and documented southern continent. Why? Because between 1513 and 1820, something happened to the people who held that knowledge. Tartaria collapsed. The knowledge chain broke. And whoever survived, whoever held the maps, waited until 1820, until the reset was complete, until Tartaria was gone enough that Antarctica could be officially discovered, safely, without anyone asking who had been there before. Now let us be precise about what Tartaria actually was, because this is the part mainstream history cannot handle. Tartaria was not a country with a flag and a president. It was a presence, a civilization whose architectural signature appears on every continent, in the canal systems, in the city grids that appear fully formed in the historical record without any construction documentation, in the buildings that existed in 1800s, photographs with no record of who built them or when. Tell me in the comments, what do you think is under the Antarctic ice? We read every single response, and what you find will shape where this investigation goes next. Subscribe to Tartaria Files.